Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alan Taylor. This is the Pioneering Performance Stage at Shell, and we are right here at the entrance, the front doors of SEMA 2015. Hashtag Shell SEMA 2015. Check out all the guests we've had on. The list is unbelievable. Joining us right now is Joe Ray. He's editor-in-chief of Lowrider Magazine. You know, I was talking to you the other day, and I said I had a '68 Impala when I was young. I don't know what it is about that particular car. He brought me Lowrider Magazine, showed me the one they had in there. You know, the cars by themselves, just with a nice set of wheels, just lowered a little bit, there's just something so beautiful. You almost don't have to do anything to that car. But the one that was in Lowrider Magazine, off the hook, right?
Yes, it is. You know, the unique thing about the 60s and 70s styles cars were the body lines, and you just enhance them when you just bring it to the floor.
Yep. That car, I got to tell you the rest of the story. It was the first wreck I ever had. And this is how I became, you know, part of my being a car guy, is I found out how easy they were to repair. I ended up buying a whole front clip at a wrecking yard for $400, and they unbolt, you know, right at the cowl, right at the bottom. I mean, it's like 8 bolts underneath the core support. The whole front of the car came off. And one of my buddies says, well, so what are you going to buy next? I go, I'm fixing that car. He goes, what do you mean you're fixing? I said, yeah, it's already done. I'm just getting ready to paint it. He goes, what do you mean it's already done? You only wrecked it 3 days ago. I said, yeah, we just bought a whole nose for it. I mean, it's like what you can do with these 60s and 70s cars. I mean, the repairing of these cars and the customizing of these cars in particular is so easy.
There's a lot of cars like the 58, 59 Impalas that are a lowrider favorite. You can order parts on your cell phone. You can eBay, it's all there.
Let's talk about your relationship with Quaker State, and you guys are doing something new with the Lowrider Network. What's going on?
We're going to do a series called Role Players. So everybody thinks that the average lowrider guy that loves his '64 Impala, that more or less bounces out there and around out there. That's not the whole story. That's just a very small percentage. But this series is about anybody out there and in front of this crowd out here could own a lowrider and be a full-fledged lowrider. We have a CFO of Caesar's Palace. He has a 1960 Chevy Impala.
The chief financial officer of Caesar's. I love that, right?
Full-fledged lowrider from Uso Car Club.
Nice.
We have a highway patrolman in Yuma. That's been a lowrider for, about 25 years. He's also in a car club. You know, we have doctors delivering babies.
And that's just scratching the surface.
That's scratching the surface.
What you're saying is all walks of life. And the thing about cars is, and that's the beauty of the car culture that we live in, it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. When you get on this ground right here at SEMA or any car show, there's an evening of whether you have all the money in the world or very little money, you're going to stand there and both look at that same car and go, isn't that hot? And it's all of a sudden, it's an even playing field. I love that.
I do too. And you know, it's basically, whether it's lowrider, hot rod, or muscle, it's still an American car. They're all American cars, and there's nothing wrong with those designs.
There's everything right with them, my friend. And Lowrider Magazine, man, you guys are doing a bang-up job. So many people are influenced by you. I mean, you're the editor-in-chief of the magazine. What you allow to be on your pages, like you were proud to show me the car that I grew up as I was a surfer guy with a lowrider, man. It was like, I was so un-PC, it was ridiculous. But I loved it. I just had to be different, and that's what it is about cars.
That's exactly
It's a personal conveyance of who you are, and it may be only for a little time, but that was my little time with my lowrider.
And every owner of a certain automobile, that's their personality goes into it. I grew up in the 70s in Los Angeles, not too far away from Whittier, and there was nothing but all the muscle cars. And then on the other side of Whittier was all the lowriders. So I like Challengers, I like Rivieras too.
Joe Ray, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please
nice
keep us in touch. We can tell the world about it on our radio shows and the rest. And Lowrider Magazine doing a great job.
We will. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back with more here from the Shell display.